I don't even know why I'm here. I don't have anything ready or prepared. I
I don't even know why I'm
don't know why
here.
I'm here. Here we go.
Clip that. Clip that. Oh.
Oh God.
It's I should have just stayed my butt where I was. Y'all probably had such a better recording without me. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Sorry to the audience who have to witness to this. I am so sorry.
Lord.
I am so sorry.
Lord, it's gonna be the shit show. No
I'm a
kidding.
train wreck. I'm a train wreck.
But you know what? You are not a trash, Lana.
I am not a trash. No.
No. No.
Well, no.
Oh,
You
at
know.
all.
It's not
But a
you, it's
train
the
wreck.
fan.
Hmm?
It's not you, it's the fan.
Period. David,
Don't
you
blame
know exactly
Ivana
what
for
you-
this.
It's the fan because it wasn't in my hand when I told it to be.
Don't. Not Ivana drink catching strays in this episode. Anyway.
Is she the fan?
Ooh,
But it's her fan.
it's
Yeah,
her
but
fan.
she's not the fan.
Anyway. Hola, hola, hola. Y bienvenidos a The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay. Gay. Lana, you missed it in the first video. I was the Coke girly. However, I have since switched, since apparently this is going to be a long evening for me. I'm drinking a double espresso latte because that is where I'm at today.
Oh no, no, I'm not doing it today with you. With none of y'all. Nope.
That's
not
why I
today.
did it in the first recording.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
not again.
matter.
Not
I'm
again.
over it. It's
Are you?
yep. Because honestly, it really is not that deep anymore for me. I said what I
Okay.
said. It was an inside joke, and I'm gonna keep it inside. Thank you very much. Hi y'all. I am Lana. I'm here. I don't know why I'm here because apparently I don't know what I'm doing anymore, but I am here and I'm gonna talk about some España, although I said I wasn't, but I'm gonna do it because guess what? Y'all sucked me in. You did it. You did
And
it.
you're
I didn't think
happy
it
that we
was.
did, aren't you?
Maybe. We'll talk about it. And I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, drink the tea because I love me some tea. Her. Drinking me some generic old water because hydration is important. But my most important thing that I do have is my Cheez-Its. So be prepared to see me eat Cheez-Its. No, not my cup mug. Cheez-Its. But I do have my cup mug right here. Yeah. And I will always have that cup mug. And you can get your cup mug or any of our cup merch at lanagscreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. We do ship domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and we do ship internationally, Spain. So there are no excuses. I'm looking at you, Spain. I'm looking at you.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I am wearing my Clover Beige shirt. Yay! We love some
Woo!
Clover.
Love Clover.
And I'm just drinking some water right now.
Her. Slay. Hola, I am Eduardo, the Mexican representative of this podcast. I'm here to talk shit and get ahead. I've finished my coffee, as I've said in the last one. So I've switched to water like everybody else except for Logan. But yeah. Oh, you
Fuck
still
my
have your
water,
water.
right?
Well, but you switched to your coffee.
It goes without saying there is always water.
Sure.
I literally don't do a podcast without water.
Okay. Well, then never mind. Like everybody else, I switched to water.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm not going to say I said it, but I'm going to say I said it. I think we are in the renaissance of Drag Race España. This premiere was so good. Most of this premiere was so good. I am thrilled to be back in España talking about this season because I think it is a very... I mean, we already knew this was a great cast of queens. And this episode proved exactly why I'm so excited to be talking about this season because it's so good.
Mhm.
And I'm very excited.
Which leads me to the one issue I do have with the premiere. Can we stop eliminating queens in the first episodes, please?
Really?
Please,
Yeah.
2 episodes. Give everybody 2 episodes at least.
It would be nice. Because I'm going to say right now, I don't think anyone deserved to go home based on their ball package this episode. Honestly. But we are going to talk about everything from this episode, except for the entrance looks and the ball looks. You got to go check those out over on both of the other videos we are doing for this week. Yes, we are doing 3 videos for this premiere because they decided to do a fucking ball episode 1 because they don't think about people online that talk about this show. They don't think about us, they don't care about us, and they should be caring about us. And while I do love a ball as a premiere episode because we get to know these queens, and this was a great ball with some of my favorite looks of the year so far, I am annoyed because I had to manually screenshot 36 looks today. I don't like doing it. But I will for this podcast. So, with that being said, we are going to dive into this episode. Before we do, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag. And as of next week, we're back up to 4. Yay! Woo! And make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, and our Patreon for exclusive content and early access, including early access to the Look Over Here episodes for all the franchises we are currently covering. So let's dive in. We are going to do, as we always do, some quick first impressions of these queens, and we're going to be doing them with the images of their entrance looks. Go check out our episode talking exclusively about the entrance looks. But first impressions for Dita Dubois.
Okay, Dita was really fun for me. She's really fun. She owns herself and she knows who she is and she's proud of who she is. And she's shady. She's really shady, but I think she is one of the more like naturally shady people. I feel like there were some other people, especially one person that was really pushing it. And I feel like she was just really natural when it came to it. And I really enjoyed it. And I really she was just fun all around. I really like her. I think she's funny. I think she's fun. I'm really interested to see what she brings when it comes to things like comedy or to things like improv. I think she'll do really well in those. But so far, I am a big fan of Dita. I think she's fun. I think she's shady, and I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I agree. I think she was a standout personality. There's a reason she was the first one to walk through the workroom, and I think it's because they knew that she would have little snide comments to say about everybody as they came in, and she sure delivered. Like, I was living for everything she had to say. And also, she's somebody that I was like, is she going to be able to keep up? Because so much of her drag is old school, and I'm really seeing that she can keep up. She can keep up. So I'm super excited for her. I thought this was a great premiere for her.
I liked Dita in this episode. I didn't care. I love the shadiness. I love I liked how she just presented herself when she came in. I was like, oh, more bananas. Got bananas with plantains. I love this. I liked her. All right. Bananas.
Bananas.
I knew I was going to like her. And she did not disappoint.
In the words of Miss Fiercelicious, personality spicy. I love her already. I could see her as the narrator of the season for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Borka, the club kid.
Borka was really fun as well. I really like Borka. I like her artistic vision, and I like the way that she thinks, and I like the way that she just presents herself when it comes to like her artistic vision. I think she's interesting. She wasn't super standout, like a super big standout to me, but I still liked her quite a bit. But she's just like the type of queen that I love, so I'm always gonna just love Borka in every scenario. And she was fun. She was interesting. I want to see more of her. Because this premiere was good. I wanted to see even more from her. I'm really excited to see what else she brings, and like I want to get to just know all of her personality, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I felt like she might have been the most underedited personality throughout the episode. We didn't get a lot from her, we didn't get to learn a lot about her throughout the episode and how she interacts with people. But I do like that we're getting a good impression of her style right away. And what's really cool for me is I don't often have queens on like these drag shows that are the exact same age as me. But she's 39, I'm 39, so I feel kind of represented by her. I'm actually really curious how close we are in age, but I like Porca a lot.
I liked her. I agree that we didn't see a lot of her, but I like what I did see. Um, Hopefully, in the next few episodes, we'll get to know more of who she is. But I did. I enjoyed her and her time on the show.
I really don't have anything to say. Please just fuck me.
And you're so real for that. You're so real for that.
It's mostly a Drag Race reference, Lana, but also fact.
Yeah.
And she's just under 2 months older than me.
Wild.
Period. Shani La Santa.
Okay, so I like Shani. She was fun. She was interesting. I like how shady she was, because she was like the right amount of shady for me. She was not super shady, but she did have some remarks here and there, and I think it just showed like her youth in there, and I think that was interesting. But she was loud, she was interesting, and yeah, I just didn't have a lot to say about her other than that. But I did wish that, spoiler alert, since she goes home first, I wish we got to like meet more from her. So I just wanted more, but from what we got, I ended up with like a good experience from her. It was good. I wanted more.
Yeah, I feel like of the queens like in their talking heads, she was one that I really just connected with. Like I just was so into the personality I was getting from her. I didn't really get the shady parts. I'm sure I would see it if I rewatched the episode, but there was just something so endearing about her. And I love an intelligent queen. She's like, I've got 2 degrees, and you all are thinking I'm 17. So I thought that was cute. But I really liked her. I was like, protect her at all cost, and they didn't protect her at all costs. And I also just want to say, I think she wasn't quite ready to be on this season, and I wish they wouldn't cast people who aren't ready. And there were signs, like we could even see signs going through her Instagram that she probably hasn't prepared as long as a lot of the queens. So I hate the idea that they cast people to be early outs, but I kind of feel like they might have done that with her, and it's unfortunate.
I wanted to like her so much. I really wanted to like her and tried to like her as I'm going through this episode. But it was like, I don't know if she was trying to be a character or I don't know. I don't know what it was. It just didn't connect with me. And but I didn't want her to go. Like I wasn't at that point like, oh, she can go. Like I can't deal with her at all. But I just didn't know much about her. And I do think you're right, David. She just was, I don't think she was ready. And give this child, give this one a couple more years, then bring her back. I think she'll show that she can be do very well in this competition. But I mean, I didn't not like anything about her. I just didn't really connect with her in this episode.
Sweet, a little shady, and I love her being an advocate for people with diabetes. Angelita la Perversa.
Angelita was really fun for me. She was such a character, and she like brought like so much energy into the workroom. She was really fun. She was really interesting. She's definitely one of my favorite, like when it comes to the talking heads, she's one of my favorite ones. She just gives me everything that I need. Yeah, she's just really fun, really interesting. I like her. I like her quite a bit. Um, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what she brings when it comes to her personality. She's fun. She's fun. She's interesting. She's just so funny, and I really like her.
I agree. I think of everybody in this cast, this is probably the person that I would be friends with the most in real life. Like I have chatted with most of the queens from this cast a little bit, and she's one that I've been able to talk movies with, and I love talking about movies with people. And even like this entrance look is coming from my childhood, Batman and Robin. So I love that. I think she is just the right amount of shady in her confessionals. She's also kind of like playing into the one of the older queens being like, they're too noisy, they're too loud, and I love that. I was living for it. So I really hope she lasts for a while.
I agree. I like her. I really did enjoy her in this episode. I like her confessionals. I thought she was very funny in those. Um, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I was going through this episode pretty quickly so I could make sure I was up to par with being on this podcast. And so some people, I was like, my connection with them are stronger. Maybe if I watched more intently, it would be. She was one who just stood out, and I was like, I really actually like her more than just a little bit like in passing. I think she's somebody who I want to see. She made me want to see her more. So hopefully I will see her more.
Super sweet, super lovely. I love seeing queens with more experience on this show. I think she's going to provide a really interesting, unique perspective to this season, and I'm happy to see her. Le Coco.
The issue that you, Lana, had with Shani, I have with Lecoco. For me, it felt like she was just not like it felt like she was trying too hard to be shady and to like be that girl that like critiques every little thing about other girls' like like outfits or anything. And so for me, it felt a little disingenuous. Maybe it's the way that it was edited or like just how much we got to see of like the shady comments, because I think we got to see like a lot of shady comments from her, and it was a bit much for me to the point where, as I said, it felt like she was trying to be shady. And normally that I'm not a huge fan of that, but the more the episode went along, the more I liked her. So I think moving forward throughout the season, I will like her more and more, especially knowing like her life, like what she's been through and everything. I think I'll like her more as the season goes by. But for now, I'm not super featuring her right now, but I'm excited to see how my opinions change of her.
I am super featuring her. She's by far one of my favorite personalities. I don't I respect what you're saying, Eduardo, but since this is our first introduction to them, I don't know that she's how we can even say she's trying to be shady. Like, I don't know what she's like outside of the show. This is all I got. It felt really natural for me. It felt very old school to me. Like, this feels like a season 4 type of queen that we have in the confessionals. So I was living for it, but she also just doesn't come across as malicious for me. So she's absolutely one of my favorite personalities, and I cannot wait to see what else she has.
I can understand where Eduardo was coming from because I felt like at the beginning, at the very first, like in the workroom area stuff, I felt like she was maybe trying to show her dominance. I don't know, show her shady. Like, look, I want y'all to know I can't be shady with the rest of y'all. But throughout the episode, I started to like her more. I was like, okay, I see you. It wasn't. I felt like she wasn't just, because in any room we want to walk in and give, in a new situation, you want to let, especially in competition, you want to let the competition know, baby, I have arrived and you ain't ready for all this yet. And I think that's what she was trying to do, or that's what she was doing. I don't even know. It might not even be a try. That just might be who she is. And that's fine too. But it just came off a little like, oh, okay. But throughout the episode, I was just like, okay, no. That was all part of who she is, but this is also another part of who she is. And I kind of liked her a little bit more, especially when we got towards the end of the episode. I was like, Okay, girl. Okay, you are somebody who I will keep my eye out on. I like her. I liked her style, and so I'm liking Miss Le Coco. Her.
I think she got a really weird edit this episode because I think she got the edit of the girl as soon as she came in. They just kept cutting to confessionals of her talking about everyone else. And it was mostly her talking about everyone else in confessionals. They didn't really cut to anybody else, which I found weird. Because obviously she's saying these things because she's being asked to say things about the other girls in the workroom. I don't know why they only cut to her all the time. And so I felt like her edit was weird. And ultimately, Lana, I do agree with you. I found her a little. I at first I was like, oh, we're going immediately in with the shady. But as we got to know more about her in this episode, there was a bit more development, and I liked seeing more development out of her. I hope that doesn't mean that we lose her early. I don't think so, but
I don't think so at all.
Yeah.
I think this one was here for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Mariana.
I mean, Mariana, I already had come into this season knowing that Mariana was going to be my favorite. Absolutely biased. I already knew it. And she just proved it. Like, she was absolutely my favorite. She's loud, she's wild, but I love everything about her. She just is fun. She's so bubbly. She's like my extroverted friends that adopt me to like they take me out to like parties and everything. She's that friend for me. She's like that kind of person for me, and I really like that. And she just brings this joy into like the workroom that I'm really excited to see throughout the whole competition. And so I'm really happy that she's here. I'm really happy every time that she's on my screen. Like, she just brings so much joy, and I'm so happy for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to even like believe she's a real person because she's just so like poppy, bubbly. Like it's almost like a cartoon character that's come to life, and I love that about her. I just find her so endearing. Like for me, she's almost like the next evolution of Victoria Shakespeare's, but way less sexual. um but I'm so into her. I think she's a sweetheart. She's so kind to us already, and you can just tell that that's just naturally who she is. She's gonna be the sweetheart of this cast, so I'm living for her.
Victoria Shakespeare's, but she's very demure, very mindful, very cutesy. Not that Victoria Shakespeare's isn't any of those things, but absolutely.
You hit the nail on the head. She is like a cartoon character brought to life. She is like Barbie. She is Jim in a hologram. She is just so effervescent and full of like I enjoyed her from the moment she walked in and then all the way through this episode. I was like, oh, is she this nice? Is she this sweet? I was waiting for the mask to drop. You know what I mean? I was waiting for the shade to slip in or her to be. None of that. She was a darling. I enjoyed her so much. I was like, oh, I think I like her so much. You know what? And I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna put her in my name. Like maybe a son for summer. I don't know. I just like her.
Just
I
the
really
Venezuelan flag.
like
Just the Venezuelan flag, honestly.
period. Because I really, really, really liked her in this episode.
I basically already said everything I needed to, so I'm just gonna move along. I love her. I love her. ¿Qué le pasa?
She's the queen of the underground. No, but seriously, she was fun. I like her vision. I like how like smart she is. She's really smart and she's really calculated with everything that she does. She is just like these like one of the most creative people, and like the way that she talks about it, she's so passionate about everything that she does. So I think it's so interesting to have her here. I like her. We I don't think we got to see a lot from her, and I wanted to see more. But from what we did see, I enjoyed. And just from like what she was talking about in the workroom and everything about it, as I said, she's very smart and she knows what she's doing, and she just like she knows what works for her, and I like that.
Yeah, I really am into her style and everything about that. I just have so many question marks about who she is as a person. And that's kind of my issue, and that's not her fault at all. All I really know is that she has only been doing what she considers to be drag for a year and a half, which is incredible. But I just can't wait to get to know the person that she is. And it's interesting because I feel like the more alternative queens we're probably the most under edited queens throughout this
Yeah.
episode when it comes to personality. And I'm not sure why. And I hope that doesn't bode like poorly for them. So, but I like her. I like her aesthetic so much.
Mhm.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, all the alternative queens, we did not get to know who they are. I hope they're not doing that purposely so we don't get to know him. But I enjoyed her style so much. I wanted to see more of her. I wanted to be like, who is she? The question marks, David, they're still there for me. And I
Mhm.
really like her. And I want to like her a whole lot more, but I don't know who she is as a queen yet. And they didn't show that. So I hope we get more. And this edit don't do our girls like our alternative girlies wrong like that because I don't think that they deserve. Like you bring all these alternative girls on only to not edit them and let us know who they are. That's a little whack. So I hope they fix that.
Loving her, but like y'all said, I'm worried about her longevity on the show. If we're not going to get an edit of her, I'm worried.
Mhm.
And I hope we didn't get an edit of them because a lot of them go very far. That's what I'm
Yeah, I
worried
hope so.
for. But I'm already obsessed with Kelly. La Niña del Antro.
Okay, La Niña del Antro just gave me the vibes of like the friends that I have at college. She just gives me those like warm, super friendly, super nice queer friend that I have at college, like at art school. She's just nice. I really like her, but she's also shady and she is like not afraid to just stand up for what she believes is right and stand up for her friends. And I really appreciate that. I like how from like just one episode we got to see several facets of her, and I think that was interesting. I do want to see more. I don't think we got to see enough from her because like we got to see like that she's really loud and she screams a lot, and that's just what she like her thought process. I just want more. I want more of like who she is behind like the creativity of it all. But I so far I like it quite a bit.
Yeah, if Angelina was the queen I would be friends with because I have the most in common with, I feel like she would be the other one I would be friends with, but because we don't have anything in common really, and like opposites attract, I just felt so drawn to everything about her personality. It's so different than mine, but I just found her really cool, really I don't know. She was just a vibe, to be honest. And even like, I think she was one of the stealthy, funniest queens in this episode. Like when they were all de-dragging, and she's like, "Oh, now we just have, what did she say? Addicts, bums, and lesbians. Now that they're all out of drag." And she's like, "And Mariana, she's the biggest lesbian of them all." But I found her so like I felt like we saw so many different a- aspects to her personality too, especially like seeing her kind of break down and Untucked. So she's absolutely one of my favorite personalities for sure, and I really think they're setting her up for a big redemption storyline because it's all up from here. I promise you.
I'm hoping she gets a Bimini in the near
I
future.
hope so. I hope it's up from here for her, or they could be setting her up for a disastrous fall. We don't know. Um, I wouldn't love that. I wouldn't love that. Let me just start off saying I did like her. I thought she was funny. I thought she was kind. She was somebody who I was interested in. We saw a lot of her, but now that we know the ending, I know why we saw a lot of her. And so I was like, okay, she was one of the people who I was like, okay, I can really grasp who she is, her personality, and if I can vibe with her or not. I think I'm like you. She probably David, like I think she'd probably be the opposite of who I would normally hang out with, but then I would love, but for some reason we just come together and just hang out for I don't know, well, no reason at all. We just end up liking each other. I don't think we have a lot in common, but I just find her endearing and something that I just draws me to her. So I don't know. I do hope they're setting us up for a massive glow up and she just rises and does some really great things, or they setting us up to be disappointed. And I would hate that. So
I love that we're seeing a young trans queen with a big boisterous personality, because I think that's a specific niche that I don't honestly think we've had on Drag Race before, and that really excites me.
Angel?
Well, other than Angel.
Jadezo?
I like her. Vampiracian.
Okay.
All the people.
Yeah, they was about to go through the list. Anyways, Vampiracian she's adorable. She's adorable. I like her, but she's really quiet and really like. I feel like we would be friends, but like we would be one of those friends that just like go like weeks or months without talking to each other, but then randomly we would talk to each other one day and just talk for 8 hours like nonstop, and then we would just go back to not talking for like months. She's quiet, she's cute, she's adorable. I really like her, but she's really introverted, so I'm hoping that she breaks out of her shell and she gets to just talk more with the other girls and gets to just be friendly with other girls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she feels kind of like the normal person thrown into a room with wild personalities. And I like that, because I kind of feel that way sometimes with this panel. Wild personalities. No. But no, I really like her. She's one of my favorites. And
put it down. Because we are wild. We are wild and crazy people.
I can be
up
wild
in here.
too. And she was one that like I feel like maybe she doesn't even know how good she is yet, because she had me nervous talking about like, oh, I know how to sew, but I don't want to. I'm like, she was so nervous about and then Loki, she came up with the best made look. But I really like her. I think she knows her brand more than almost anybody in this cast. So she's another one I just really hope does well. I'm like low-key, like don't want eliminations this season.
I like a low-key kind of person, like you said, thrown in a mix of wild personalities, because it's like I like seeing how they adapt to their surroundings. It's like, are they gonna just stay low-key? Or are they gonna give a little bit and pull back after a while? I don't want her to change a bit. If she want to stay in the corner and just mind her business, I would say mind your business. But this is a show. You want to be social. You want to get to know people. But I like her. I really do like her. I think she's very sweet. She knows her brand. She knows her style of drag, and I appreciate that. But yes, I do want her to believe in herself more as a queen, and just you know how good you are, and it's okay to say I'm good. It's okay to say, yeah, I know how to do this, and yes, I know this is gonna be fire, and I'm gonna come out and eat this up. I'm nervous for next week, for what it is, if she's going to be so introverted that she can't express her talent like how it needs to be. But I think she's going to be just fine if she can get over the hurdles of not believing in the confidence and just having confidence in herself. I really like her.
This is my kind of queen in every way, shape, and form. Period. Like, this is kind of exactly what I would want to be doing if I did drag. Like, this is everything for me. I love her. I love her. Chloe! And her giant breasts.
Chloe is also like one of those people that like is really loud, and it's a lot. But once you get to know her, she's just a sweetheart. And I can just see that. Like, I can see that sweetness in her, and I can see just that kindness in her. but she also clearly has like a big personality and is just adventurous and wild. And as I'm telling you, she's just like La Niña del Antro, a friend from college that would take me out to bars and just go to party with me. Like I feel like I would have a great time with Chloe, La Niña del Antro, and like going to a bar and just doing the wildest shit possible. I feel like we would be friends, and I really like her. I feel like she's super nice, super kind, and I like what I'm seeing from her.
Hmm. I agree. I think she's a sweetheart. I'm so taken by her so far. There's something about her that is giving me Jariji vibes, which is a great compliment because I love Jariji. My only concerns are I feel like we have so many queens in this cast that know who they are. They know their brand so well. And I feel like she's still learning and adapting and experimenting. And I don't know that this is the right time to be doing that. So I kind of wish she had like established what kind of queen she is and then gotten on the show.
I would say I want to see more from her, but I think we've seen a lot from from her in this interest look alone. But um, I'm interested. I'm not fully sold. That's what I'll say about Chloe. I'm not fully sold on her yet, but I'm interested. I'm interested.
Here's my thing with Chloe. I find her intriguing as a person and as a drag character. She is the person I came away from this episode with the biggest question mark on. Because I get that she is like slutty girl. What else you got, girl? And I agree with you completely, David. Everyone else on this cast knows exactly the drag that they want to present and who they are. And I don't know that Chloe is going to be able to catch up unless it's just slutty girl. And if it is, there are several of those on this cast. So I am a touch worried for Chloe. And I do want to see more because I'm intrigued, but I'm worried. That's all. Miss Cristo.
Okay, Miss Cristo is really interesting to me. He's just so. First of all, she's so hot out of drag. She's so hot. It's not even funny. I was shocked. I was shocked. I was gooped. I was gagged. Um, she's just so interesting to me, and I just want to see more from her because right now I don't really have a lot to say on her other than like she's super creative and super interesting when it comes to her creativity and what she brings to drag. But I want to just get to know her more and I want to get to know what she's all about, like outside of drag. Because I think what we got to see a lot from her is her opinions on drag and on her art. And I think that's interesting and I think that's important to know. But I also want to know who she is outside of herself as an artist.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I feel like we're just barely scratching the surface with her personality. And hopefully she'll have lots of time to show off more of that. But even when we do see her in the confessionals, she's just so low key with how she delivers everything. But like you said, I'm so attracted to her out of drag, so attractive. Like I did not expect her to be the most attractive to me, but she is. Um, yeah, but I still really like her. I've honestly, based on this first episode, out of like all the drag queens I've seen, she feels way up there for somebody who is fashion model runway ready. Like she's just got the entire vibe of that. But I want to see more beyond that.
Her drag is very intriguing. As someone that is studying art and fashion, I think she provides a really interesting perspective. And she's the other person that I just want to know more about the person behind Miss Cristo. I hope we get it before the episode that they ultimately maybe send her home. But I'm intrigued. I want to know more. I'm really interested. And I think Miss Cristo is also one of the most unique people we've ever seen on Drag Race. I said it in the Instagram review we did, but I'm just really excited to see how she tackles the challenges of this season. I'm worried that something super trivial is going to be the reason she gets taken out. You know what I mean? Like, oh, she can't do a roast. Oh, she can't, like, she bombs Snatch Game. Like, those are the things that I'm worried about with Miss Cristo. As far as, like, I don't want her to bomb that because of that. So.
She could have luck on her side. Who knows?
Who knows?
Nice.
Maggie J-Lo.
Okay, Maggie is interesting to me. I don't really know how to feel about her yet. She's very hit or miss for me. I don't know. I feel like if I knew Maggie, like in real life, we wouldn't really be friends, but we would just be cordial with each other. Like, she just doesn't seem like the kind of person I would really get along with. We got to see a lot from her, but we didn't get a lot of nuance from her. Like, I think we got just the very basics of who Maggie is, and like, I just wanted to see something like deeper. I wanted to see like a lot more, something deeper, because what we really got to see is, oh, I'm an attractive man that did the pit crew for a few seasons, and then like she's loud, she's interesting, and she's like really bubbly. Or like, what's the word I'm looking? I don't know what the word that I'm looking for really is, but like there's something there that I see, but like I just need more time to really sit with it and like really excavate it, to really like feature it 100%, because I feel like I'm still missing something right there.
I see what you're saying, but I do feel like she's one of the queens I got a little bit more dynamics from so far. Like especially learning about her being a parent, and we saw like subtle things. Like I did think it was really funny how it almost felt like she expected to be recognized and known by everybody, but nobody really knew who she was, including myself. Uh, so that was kind of a funny dynamic. But what I think my biggest takeaway from her after the first episode is I feel like she's a kid who was told you can do anything you set your mind to, and she believed it. She believed it, and she's got the drive. And I think she was like, drag? I could do drag. Let me go hard. And she is going hard. And she's doing very well so far, in my opinion. So I could see her going very far, honestly.
As seemingly the only person that actually recognized her from the pit crew, I actually really liked Maggie this episode. I found her personality very endearing. There is very much so this energy that like she's coming in already with the expectation in her mind that she thinks she needs to go full out because she needs to prove that she's more than just a dumb jock pit crew member. And I'm not saying pit crew members are dumb jocks. Bryce on the American pit crew is literally a fucking rocket scientist.
Truly.
So like, that's not, I'm not saying that, but she's so like, she's trying to show so much of herself beyond the little bit we got to see on the pit crew. And I'm really interested to see her story. I want to know more about her story.
Maybe that's what I was looking for more.
Yeah. I wanted a bit more than I'm hot, I was on the pit crew. We got a little bit of it in this episode, which I did like, but overall, you know, I want to know more.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you said it better than I did. That's literally what I feel.
Yeah. So we get everybody in. There is no mini challenge because instead we're eating king's cake. And at first I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. And then we found out that there's a twist. And it's basically, it's chocolate.
It's a better version.
I think it's a better version.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
it is a better version.
11 queens, not Le Coco, had... did we never got resolution for that either, did we?
No.
It's a mystery.
Okay. They just made Coco wear a garlic necklace all episode for legitimately no reason.
And
Cool,
pay the
got
bill.
it.
She has to pay the bill.
So 11 of the queens have a little package. One of them will have the queen. And I like that take on a king's cake. I think that's a really cute way to do it. But only the person with the queen figurine will know that she has it. And at any point, if she is in the bottom two within 10 seconds of the lip sync starting, she can activate her power, and the queen that was in the bottom three and saved will then take her place in the lip sync. I love it.
This is crazy, but it's so interesting because it just changes the fact that you are not safe. Just because you're back here with the girls does not mean that you're not lip syncing, honey. You have to wait. And there's that moment. There's always going to be that moment of anxiety of, is she going to pull it out? And is this other queen going to lip sync? And I don't know how I would react if I was these queens and if I was like in that situation in which, oh, I just got saved. I'm so happy. And then suddenly this girl just shows me that she has the queen and I have to start performing immediately. Terrifying, truly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is terrifying. It almost reminds me of the All Stars 1 button where somebody can switch out on a lip sync.
It's very that.
Yeah. So
it's the chocolate plus that.
It'll be interesting to see if and when it happens. Here's my thing. I have a positive and a negative about this. So what I really like about this is the queens open these on their own. I'm assuming pretty immediately. So they know whether or not they have it. And that means there can't be shenanigans from production where only they know who has it. And conveniently, whoever they want to have it can have it. Because who knows if the chocolate bar, like I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but who knows who actually drew that chocolate bar.
They planted it. They wanted Bosco to be saved because they wanted Bosco to be in the top 5 this season.
Yes.
I love Bosco. I'm not mad at it, but that is what I believe.
Yes.
But my concern about this, though, is initially I'm like, oh, no production interference. But that actually is not true because I'm sure production will also know who has it. And I wish there was a way to keep it only to the queen knowing who has it, because there's no chance they're not going to let it play out. There could be a world, hypothetically, where the queen who has it is never in the bottom. They're not going to let that happen. No. They're going to know who has it, and that person will find themselves in the bottom two at some point, whether they deserve to be or not. And that's kind of the annoying thing about it. I just want it to play out as purely as possible, but that's impossible.
Yeah.
Definitely. I agree. Well, we find out that our maxi challenge is the ball.
Lord have mercy.
And again, like I complained about at the top of the episode, I like it for a premiere. I like it when we have more queens, but it's just annoying as a podcaster. That's honestly all it is.
Yeah, basically. That's it.
Yes, and I want to keep it like to that, and because the one thing I don't like is when I'm listening to a podcast and they complain about and I'm not shading you, Logan, is when they complain about things with Drag Race or there being too much Drag Race because I don't get a break from talking about it or whatever just because you're a podcaster. And I'm like, well, so they should not revolve the world around you as a podcaster. And I know you're not saying that, but I do like it as a as a first challenge because we're getting to see at least 4 looks from everybody, which is really cool.
Mhm.
In my perfect world, I think most franchises would have a non-elimination in the first episode
Mhm.
and have the first 2 episodes be a ball and a talent show. Because I think if we got to see ball looks from everybody and we got to see their talent shows, like we would have such a great first impression in 2 episodes of everybody. And I would love that
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially with the way España does things, where it is typically a look-based challenge and then the talent show back to back.
Mhm.
I absolutely agree. And I'll say it again. I think this ball was definitely one where no one could have gone home and I would have been so okay
Right.
with it because the overall performances were so good.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we find out that they are making the third look in their ball collection based on inspiration from their first drag look. So it's not for not everyone, but for most people, they are using materials inspired by their first look. In Kelly's case, she literally brought the damn look herself and
Mhm.
just threw it in her suitcase and said, "All right, cool." But yeah, that is the challenge. We get workroom stuff where all of the judges come in.
Yeah, I was confused by that.
I would have been fine if it was just unlocking.
I
Not
thought it
even
should
gonna
have
lie
just
to
been
you.
unlocking because she's the fashion girl. I don't know why Los Javis had to be
Right.
there. But you know what? I didn't hate them. I'm just gonna say this the whole episode.
Right.
Because most of the time
Oh.
there's something about Los Javis, like a critique or something that gets me upset at what they're saying. This time there was nothing bad about them. And so I was really shocked that like I tolerated Los Javis for one episode. Normally this doesn't happen. It's truly a miracle.
They were so
Truly a miracle.
kind. They were
Yeah.
really kind. And I appreciated that. And what I do like about having them all out there is they're all going to be judges. All 4 of them are going to be judges. So I think it
Mhm.
really does help to have the perspective and the feedback from all 4 people, well, 4 of the 5 people that are going to be critiquing you later on. I think that was so helpful and you could tell the queens really appreciated that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
As far as like actual interactions go, I didn't have a whole lot of standouts. But one of the ones that I did have was Meggie because she showed her first look in drag, and it goes to what I said: is everything she does, she goes hard. She was like, if I was going to do a pageant, I was going to win that pageant, and I feel like she's bringing that same attitude to Drag Race. And I think it's really going to pay off for her. I don't know that she's going to win. She's got tough competition, but she's going to
Yeah.
go hard. Hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really interesting, and I think it's going to be interesting seeing Meggie throughout this season,
Mhm.
because most of the time I would say, oh, she has an advantage. I honestly don't think she has that much of an advantage having been a pit crew member.
No.
Like she understands how she looks on camera.
Mhm.
She understands the way that she's presenting herself on TV. But otherwise, I don't think she has much of an advantage. I've seen some people on Twitter talking about it. It's the only reason I'm saying anything. I'm interested. I'm interested in her entire journey and here learning in her walk around about her just becoming a father at that point. And that kind of, like you were talking about, David, being the big driving force for wanting to be on Drag Race and wanting to, not take drag more seriously, but elevate her drag career to the next level. And the next level is really doing Drag Race. And I'm really happy for her. What other walkthroughs did we like? Did we think about? Did we love? Because I honestly just thought the workroom talks with everyone it was very pleasant, and it was nice. There was one moment with, I think it was Coco, talking about how her ball looks were referencing her father, and we learn more about that later. But
There was
otherwise, it was sweet and lovely.
Yeah, I also like Shawnee's interactions because she was talking about that look and how she didn't know that her black bra would be shining or showing through her dress, and she was like, I'm going to take that mistake and I'm going to lean into it with this look that I'm making, and I'm going to have the black in the background be part of the focus. And I thought that was really clever, and I was glad that she got to talk to them about that. Whether it turned out well or not, we'll get into and look over here. But yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and I also really liked La Niña del Antro's just creativity and what she was going to bring, what she told us that she was going to bring into the ball, and what she actually gave us in the ball, because it just told us a lot about her and what she's been through and just like her entire story. And it was really nice to see from the very get-go just everything that she's all about and what she's been through and like what's driving her basically. And so I thought it was very interesting to just get that off the bat. It was really interesting, and now we can get to know La Niña del Antro a lot more. So I'm excited, and I like that.
Definitely. Is there any other workroom stuff, or should we just talk about not even the judges? And I'll explain why it's not the judges.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they talked briefly about how they all decided to like get into drag, but I really didn't have too much that stood out from that. It was pretty surface level.
Yeah.
Good for all of them.
Yes, absolutely. And now we're going to the runway. So, nowhere online have they posted any of the judges' looks. At all. So we're only going to be talking about Supreme and how absolutely atrocious I find this look.
This is horrendous. This is wildly bad. It's wild. This is giving me like Mrs. Kasha Davis trying to make her look and just
don't talk about Mrs. Kasha Davis.
I love Mrs. Kasha Davis. Let's be for real. That look that she made was not good at all.
I agree. And
I think this is even worse. Because she didn't make this. She bought this.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the worst. Like how? How did we get here? Why did we think this was a good idea? What's going on? Why? Well, I'm just confused. I don't like this at all.
I thought I was like, am I missing something here? Because I was looking around, watching the show, not really paying attention. I skipped over some stuff in the workroom. And when I got to the runway, I was like, wait, is this somebody's design challenge look? And I was like, oh no, that is Supreme. That is so like, I don't know what she was thinking with this look. If we had a worst look in history and a worst look award, this probably would make the list. Because baby, this is oh my god.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because when I saw her come out, this was the first time I remembered, oh yeah, we have a worst look of the year award for hosts, because I'm pretty sure, did Nikki win that
it wasn't a hosts award last year.
It wasn't,
but I think we're gonna have to make a host look award.
I thought I nominated Nikki for that last year for one of her
no, it was the worst queen's look, because
and you just nominated Nikki.
Probably.
You're so shady. But
no, I know who I nominated. Was her name Aphrodite?
Aphrodite, that's who you nominated. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But no, the reason I thought about that is because immediately I saw this and I knew it was going to be polarizing, but I actually do not hate it as much as you all. At first, when I saw it, I'm like, I kind of like it. And then the more I saw it, I was like, I'm not so sure. So I don't love it for sure, but I don't hate it either. There's something intriguing about it. It's chaotic and crazy, but I kind of like the shape of it. I don't know. Definitely could be way better than it is, but I don't hate it.
All right, sure.
Mm.
Get it off my screen. I don't believe
Bye.
it.
Okay, because please.
So we're going to be doing our full discussion of all of the looks over on our Look Over Here episode for the ball. So make sure to check that out. So we're not going to talk about looks. We don't have a challenge to talk about, which means let's talk about Untucked.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask if I can give our top 3 and bottom 3, each of us, quickly.
Sure.
Okay. So based on the ball, my bottom 3 would have been Angelita, Chloe, and Shawnee. My top 3 would have been Mariana, Vamparasian, and Le Coco. Logan, your top 3 would have been Porca the Club Kid, Mariana Stars, and then Meggie J-Lo. Your bottom 3 would have been Dita, La Nina Del Antro, and Angelina. Lana, your top 3.
Angelita.
Why do I have Angelina in my...
You've been saying it this whole episode, darling.
Yeah.
Honestly, I keep wanting to say Angelita, but I'm like, I have written down Angelina.
Angelita.
I'm like, I don't remember it being Angelina. Okay. And then Lana, your top 3 were Miss Cristo, ¿Qué le pasa? And Mariana. Your bottom 3 were Le Coco, La Nina Del Antro, and Chloe. And then Eduardo, your top 3 were Vamparasian, Miss Cristo, ¿Qué le pasa? Your bottom 3 were Angelita, Shani, and Dita Dubois. So
It's interesting how we all, at least one of them.
mhm.
What?
It's interesting how we all had at least one of the bottom 3s and top 3s in our bottom 3s and top 3s.
Correct. Yes.
Yep. But there's a lot where we didn't match. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
and we will get to that.
We'll
in
get to that.
Logan.
Yes, yes. Let's talk about Untucked. I was confused the whole time. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, huh?
It was a lot. It was
a lot.
A lot of emotions. People were
Course they-
crying. People were fighting. People were like talking over each other, and like it felt really chaotic to me. It was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah. Lania Adelanto started crying, but then she was defending her friend and Shawnee against, I think it was Meggie. And then Angelita got mad that people were talking over her. And then Vampirashen didn't get to talk at all because people were talking over her. And it was a lot. It was a lot. I got a little bit overwhelmed. I'm not even going to lie. It was a lot.
I did really like La Nina in this because I was like, that is a good friend. Because we had Maggie like immediately start saying, oh yeah, the dress could have been better. And La Nina is like, not right now. You do not have to be saying that right now. And I was like, that is a good sister. Like, she's not even defending herself. She's defending her sister who's in the bottom. So that was another thing that just really endeared me to her. But yeah, there was a lot going on. I like it when we have seasons where they dedicate a full episode to Untucked because this is a good example of a season that probably could have had that and it would be better off.
I got overwhelmed. I'm not gonna lie. I was with you, Eduardo. I was like, I don't know what's happening here. I can't keep up. I'm just gonna go past this because I could not handle it. My brain was not letting me handle it right there. I'll go back and watch it again, and maybe when I'm more focused. But at the moment I was watching, I could not handle it. It was so much going on. I was like, what is happening? Everybody's crying. People are yelling. People are mad at what happened. I just didn't get it. I just couldn't focus on one thing. And so I was overwhelmed. I had to stop. I had to stop for my own mental stability. I had to stop.
Just like the whole thing was happening so quickly. I was just like, huh? Like that meme of the woman with the math all around her face. I'm just like, no, what? Huh? Huh?
Yeah, truly, that's how it felt.
Honestly. Is this how every fucking Untucked is going to be this season? Jesus. But I do
Yeah.
love Nina sticking up for her friend. I thought that was my favorite part. And I related to Angelita so severely because I hate, like, when someone's like, oh no, let her talk. And then she talks and then someone interrupts. I'm like, bitch, shut up.
Yes.
They said, let me talk. So then let me talk.
Yeah, and I'm just as petty as Angelita, so I would also be just like, oh,
absolutely.
then I'm just
like,
not gonna talk. I'm just not gonna say anything.
Period.
Like, I don't care if you're asking me for like information, like what you want to know. I'm not gonna give you anything. I'm gonna
there are 5
like
other girls that were on that stage. You can ask
Yeah,
them.
I'm
Like,
gonna
honestly.
hard ice you right now, and I'm not gonna
Oh,
tell you
100%.
anything at all.
100%.
I'm that petty, so like I got it from Angelita, but I really liked Niña, la niña de la. I was gonna say Niña de la Fuente. I'm getting confused. La
La
niña de la
niña de la fuente.
merch la niña del antro and Niña de la Fuente. There you go.
I need them. I need them on a tour together.
That would be iconic. Anyways, but I really liked her standing up for her friend. It was really cute. It was really adorable, and that's why La Niña del Antro is one of my favorites so far. That moment right there was really what endeared me to her even more.
Definitely. Let's talk about our results. Our top 3 was Mariana, Miss Cristo, and Vampiracian. And overall, I am not mad at this top 3.
Yeah,
I would have had other people.
I have, I think, 2 of the 3, and Mariana is really close to my top 3, so I was not upset at all by the fact that she was in the top. I love Mariana, so this top 3 felt really right for me, and I was really happy with it.
Yeah, I wasn't mad at this top 3. I was like, okay, cool. I thought they all deserved. All did well. I don't think anybody did bad in this ball, to be personally honest.
No.
And if you look over here, you'll see my thoughts because I really enjoyed this ball in general. So I wasn't mad at this 3.
Yeah. Our winner, I'm very happy to say our winner ends up being Miss Cristo.
Yeah.
And I think this win helps me be a little less anxious about them not understanding the alternative queens that they cast on this season. It's quelled it just a touch. Just a touch.
I would say the same thing if in season 1 they didn't give the first win to Horacio Crujiente and then eliminated her like 3 episodes later.
She bombed the challenge she went home on.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, just because she won the first challenge does not really mean that. We've seen like a conceptual queen and a really interesting queen win the first challenge and then get eliminated like episode 4 or 5. And so I'm not out of the woods yet. I'm still really scared, but I was really happy that Miss Cristo won this challenge.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised she won. I thought for sure, I was so sure it was between the other 2. And that's probably because I'm the lowest of our panel on her design look, probably. And you'll hear my thoughts on it and look over here. But it just caught me off guard. I'm happy she won because she's representing for the alternative queens. And I really feel like this could be a big season for those queens. But it just surprised me, to be honest.
Definitely. Well, our bottom 3. Angelita with a T, La Niña del Antro, and Shani. And we end up with Niña and Shani in the bottom. I'm not surprised based on the critiques.
I thought based on the critiques that La Niña was going to be saved.
Me too.
Because I will spoil a little bit of my thoughts from the look over here. I don't think La Niña should have been in the bottom at all. And maybe it's because I really like the story that she brought, and it meant a lot. And I thought that was gonna really like bring her safety. And for me, Angelita was the worst. So I was shocked that Angelita was saved at all. But then I remember that the entire episode, these two were super close and super friendly with each other. And so, of course, they were going to put two friends against each other the very first chance that they got. So once I thought about it, I wasn't surprised by it, but I was not happy with the fact that La Niña del Antro was in the bottom.
Yeah, I'm with you here. I wouldn't have had her in the bottom, but I think it's because for me, I would rather see somebody have a design look that's rough around the edges, but they're ambitious with it, than something that's kind of safe and unsuccessful still. So that's why I would have had her be safe out of the bottom three. And also, I kind of feel like maybe she was put there as an assassin to send home Shawnee, which is very unfortunate. But just seeing how the lip sync turned out, the girl knows how to move. She knows how to do some impressive things in lip sync. So for me, yeah, I thought she killed this lip sync. I was so impressed with her. It was messy in parts. It was chaotic in parts, but I feel like that's her, and it's endearing about her. Like, I don't need it to be super polished all the time, because what she did, I just saw passion, and the passion won out.
I mean, I guess I liked the lip sync. I guess I liked it. I guess it was. I do think she was. La Nina was a little messy at times, and yes, that could be due to adrenaline and passion and trying to get her, to show how much she. I don't know. It just between the both of them, I felt like it was a little messy. It was a little sloppy. It was a little like crunchy at times, and I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling this. And then it's like, oh, but I do like that. Oh, but I do like that. Oh no, I don't like that at all. It was a very much a roller coaster ride with me watching this lip sync. It was some moments that was really high for both of them, and then it was like really low for both of them. But then Shani, I felt like she just towards the second half, I guess, of the lip sync, she just started to putter out a little bit and just didn't. I think she felt a little defeated in the moment. I don't know. It just looked like she felt defeated, and it just kind of, all right, I'm gonna just do this and do a death drop real quick just to end it up, just so I can say I did something. I don't know if I would put this like as a great lip sync, or like I thought that they both did really good. It was just moments I was like, that's good, that's good. Oh yeah, okay. So I was back and forth with me.
Yeah, I mean, within 15 seconds of the lip sync starting, I knew who won. Like, there was a confidence exuding from Nina. There was a chaotic energy, but I liked it. And Shawnee's energy was just nervous. Half of the lip sync is her kind of marching to a different part of the stage and then kind of doing a really crunchy dip. I feel like she is probably a better entertainer than what we saw in this lip sync.
Yeah.
Those dips, she did a couple of them, and each time my first thought was, ouch.
Yeah.
It looked painful.
Yeah. That last shablam, that drop,
it really wasn't a dip.
Yeah, I was like, oh, your leg, you just broke your leg. You're just.
Yeah.
It felt painful. Yeah.
But yeah, the winner. We do lose Shani.
We do lose Shani.
So
I do agree. We shouldn't lose anybody on the first episode, and that's coming from me. Y'all know me. I'm like, pick them off, everybody. But I feel like the first episode, give us a chance to know who they are. Give us a chance to see them for 2 weeks, and then you can kick them off. But poor Shani. Give her another chance. Let her come back in a few years after she gets some more experience under her belt, and I think she would do really good in this competition.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that we lost Shani this early, because I felt like she had so much more to just prove. And also, I just remembered that River asked us to bring this up, and Shani was part of this moment when they were all
you.
together, and they referenced
I was gonna bring it
the
up, but
Cheetah
thank you.
Girls.
Yeah.
She was part of that, and it was so cute. And so I wanted to see more of that from Shani, and we won't get to see that, and that's so unfortunate because like just the relationship that she had with La Niña del Antro and clearly with like Mariana and other girls, we didn't really get to see that. So I wish that we really got to see all of those relationships that she made, and we just didn't. And it's so unfortunate because if she had stayed, I bet we would have gotten to see even a little bit more, and I would have liked that. And unfortunately, we won't.
Yeah, I found her so likable this episode. And like I said earlier, I just don't think she was quite ready for the season. But what I do like about España is they are not afraid to bring back somebody who was out first. So I actually would love it if they give her a couple of years and bring her back, give her a chance to show growth, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of growth.
I hope we see that.
I agree.
Definitely. Love you, Shani. So sweet.
Love you, Shani.
Come on the podcast.
Yeah,
You speak English fluently, so you're welcome.
Great. Would love that.
Oh.
Would love that. Would
And
love
also, I
that.
speak Spanish, so also, if anything happens, I'm right here.
True.
Period.
Exit interviews, we'll do them.
Period.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this draft, because David was talking about our current draft results earlier, and I just went and looked.
It's wild.
And it's wild.
I saw them.
It is
I saw them, and they're
wild.
insane.
So, in 5th place currently is me with 6 points. And in a 4-way tie for 1st place is everyone else.
Wait a minute. What?
We all
Everyone
have 9 points.
else has 9 points.
How in the world?
Somehow
Wild.
that fell perfectly.
Yep. I thought I was going to be leading because I'm like, oh, I got 2 of the top 3, but I also had the person who survived the lip sync and only got 1 point this episode. So,
And River,
So you have-
River has the winner,
Mhm.
one of the top 3, and the person that went home.
Wild.
Yeah.
I was just safe all the way around. How did I get 9 points?
Yeah.
3
3,
per
3,
person.
3.
Same thing with
Wild.
3, 3, and 3.
All 4 of you somehow came to 9 points.
That's sick and just.
And
sick
I have
all of it.
A
Sick.
safe queen, a bottom 3 queen, and a bottom 2 queen. So
That's
maybe I'll
wild.
just let the people that are tied for first do the look over here. Maybe I'm not needed because everybody else is in a tie.
That's crazy.
Wild.
But
Wild and
Yeah.
insane.
I forget what next week is.
Talent show.
Oh, talent show!
show.
Talent show! A show about talent.
About talent.
So,
Mhm.
very excited for all of that, as per usual, on Drag Race España. But that is where we're going to leave off for this recap. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next week to talk about episode 2, all the talent show, all the gorgeous, lovely, and wonderful things. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share on the way out. Check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch, including but not limited to Cup Mug. And with all that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So, cheers!
Bye.
Adios.
Pika pika.
Pika,
Pika,
pika.
pika, pika.
No, pika,
Pika,
pika.
pika.
Pika, pika.
Adios.
Shoo.